Can you talk a little bit about that in terms of kind of like I guess on the kind of actionable level or like a tactical level? Like what are those things that are 10 or 20% now that you think are going to be much more important in the coming weeks, months,
Yeah.
etc.?
It's not a very exciting thing, but it's like, you really have to create that relevance across all different stages of the user. So a good example is if you've optimized your business or in your SEO or your content marketing 100% around like transactional searches, you're going to be relevant to that user in 1% of the time, maybe less. But when you and I are creating this podcast and we're creating content, we're talking about content marketing, that appeals to a very wide audience with a lot of different intents, right? So like you've got it's sort of like the funnel thing we talked about before, but it's more about intent. When people want to just be entertained and want to like just learn or like want to like hear us talk about SEO, you need to have that play going, because if you don't, you're going to pay through the nose for those users later on whenever everybody else has the attention. So it's super important to start placing bets on that, but also like balance that with like creating really good structured content that can be distributed across different mediums that actually does help you sort of bridge the gap between top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel. Good example is like Discover is a great place right now to get in front of people, but their ads are like phenomenal right now. There's crazy ROI on that. So you can drive a lot of transactional clicks from that. And like the other thing too is like I can't believe I'm saying this, but I used to be sort of like the anti like brand because I was such a like right side brain kind of person. But like what if like you have to create reasons for people to actually understand, like to actually like know what your brand is about outside of when they go to buy. And I used to be so like polar to one side or the other because that's where the money was, and it was like all you could do is focus on that. But as machine learning and AI are getting better at understanding people and what they want, like you can't brute force things anymore. So you have to create like an overall portfolio of ways to engage with users. And that's hard. And like ultimately what happens is it puts the small guys in a really tough spot because they don't have a lot of resources. But I think the most important thing is like start acting today on like what you think your users want and double down on bets that you think will map to these changes that are coming.